Right now at 6 o'clock, it is primary day here in Connecticut. We'll tell you about the biggest races going on and what you need to know if you're headed to the polls today.
And we're going to share everything we know about this morning about a river rescue. This happening in Cromwell.
Also, the Hartford Police Department honoring the life and the legacy of now Detective Robbie Garton. We'll tell you what you can do to pay your respects to him.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock, the polls are open in several communities all across the state. Municipal primaries are happening today. Good morning. Thanks for being with us, America Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Yes, and boy, that is up to the minute because they just opened right now at 6 o'clock. So if you're headed out to vote this morning, it is a cloudy start. The humidity is still here, but not for much longer. So let's get over to meteorologist Matt Scott. Another rainy, thundery night.
Yeah, and yet the rain has let up for the most part for today, so that if you are heading out to the polls, and we certainly hope you are, can't blame the weather. You can complain about the humidity, but you can't blame it on not voting, that's for sure. It is, for all intents and purposes, a calmer Tuesday. The humidity that's been dominant in the forecast for the last couple of days, it's on its last legs. Got some rain tomorrow and then a big pattern change, and we'll talk about that coming up. Flash flood warning continues all the way up in northern central Massachusetts. For us, there's nothing. That's certainly good news. Last 6 hours showing you the rain finally exiting parts of the Boston Metroplex and the Cape, seeing abundant rain last night. By comparison, we got barely. 71 degrees in Hartford, New Haven. They're sleeping in Groton. 68, though, in Chester. And the dew point's still high, mid to upper 60s, still steamy out there. On the way up to near 80 degrees, we'll get a couple of pokes of sunshine in there and a dry day overall. One more round of rain and then a big change in the weather. Change for the better. We'll talk about that coming up. Let's check in with traffic right now. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Things are running smoothly out on the roads this morning. No incidents to report at this hour at 6:02. And really, there's no fog to deal with either, which is nice to see too. Just kind of peeking around the traffic cameras this morning. Over in Bridgeport we go, where traffic on 95 southbound is running smoothly. We do have some volume starting to pick up there. And then over in New Haven, 91, just out by exit 6 and 7, running smoothly now too, with light volume getting you to the I-95 interchange. Over in Hartford, Windsor to the 84 interchange looks like this. 3 minutes, New Britain out to the Hartford Tunnel. It's smooth at 5, and Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge, Route 2, looking good at a 7-minute drive. Tim and Erica, good morning.
Good morning.
Rachel, good morning.
As we said, today is primary day in Connecticut. The polls opened just 2 minutes ago. The elections in some towns and cities will have voters weighing in on new leadership.
Yep, and one of those races, the open seat for Hartford's mayor, current mayor Luke Bronin, is not seeking re-election. Fox 61's Angelo Bovar was joining us live right outside City Hall with more on this race.
Erica, Tim, good morning. And these primary elections give voters the chance to really weigh in and determine which candidate is going to represent each of these political parties in November's general election. But in a Democratic stronghold like Hartford, the Democratic primary will likely determine who takes the mayor's office, which is why this race is so high stakes today. So on that ballot, take a look. Voters will see 3 names, 3 men on the Democratic side of things. One of those, Arunan Arulampalam, he is the current CEO of Hartford Land Bank, who's endorsed by the Hartford Democratic Town Committee, and the current mayor, Luke Bronin. Also in the race, former Superior Court judge and state lawmaker Eric Coleman, who touts a progressive plan for Hartford on his website. And that third candidate, State Senator John Fonfara, who highlights his part in turning around state and city finances on his website. Among the issues that we've heard the men talk about, blighted properties, boosting business, poor housing conditions, and gun violence.
It's really important to have a mayor who's got executive experience, and I'm the only person in this race with real executive experience, but also experience in the community.
Continue to support someone that they've trusted, someone that they've known for a considerable number of years, someone who has demonstrated an ability to get things done.
Luke Bronin has provided a great foundation. He has rebuilt the confidence in our city by state officials, by the legislature, by the business community, and by the residents of Hartford. I want to build on that legacy, on that record.
And those 3 men, Arulampalam, Coleman, and Fonfara, those are the only 3 candidates actually on today's Democratic primary ballot. Councilman Nick LeBron J. Stan McCauley, and Giselle Jacobs. Those are some other names who have all petitioned to have their names on the general election ballot in November. Polling locations, again, just opened at 6 o'clock, and they close tonight at 8 p.m. We are live in the capital city this morning. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, Angelo, thank you for getting us up to date with all that.
Well, West Haven has been struggling in scandal after city leaders voted no confidence in Mayor Nancy Rossi and begged her to step away. Rossi announced that she would not seek another term in office.
All right, so voters are headed to the polls to vote for a Republican nominee in that upcoming race. They've got Barry Lee Cohen, a former councilman and director of a tech company to choose from. He's up against the GOP-endorsed Paige Weinstein, who's a political newcomer but a well-known business owner.
Oh, back in May, Mayor Rossi announced that she wouldn't run for her fourth term. She said despite the bad, she saw the city as being in a better place than when she first took office. A lot of voters in West Haven don't feel the same, though. Rossi was heavily criticized when former employee Michael DeMassa stole millions of dollars in COVID relief funds. An audit before that showed pandemic grants were mismanaged on several levels in her administration.
One town over, Democratic voters in New Haven are going to head to the polls to choose their nominee for mayor. Current Mayor Justin Elicker is on the ballot, and he is facing a challenge from former federal prosecutor Liam Brennan. In Bridgeport, the incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim is going to be running against challenger John Gomes in that Democratic primary. So for all of your primary election coverage from Fox 61, you can just text the word VOTE to 860-527-6161. And if you do that, you'll get a text back with a link to our comprehensive guide with everything you need to know for the primaries. Be sure to join us for the results tonight on the news at 10 and 11.
Funeral arrangements have been set for fallen Hartford police officer Robert Garton, who was killed last week when a car crashed into his police cruiser.
Yeah, the police chief made the announcement last night while also revealing that Garton now has a new title. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live at police headquarters there in Hartford with more on that and how everybody can pay their respects. Good morning.
Well, law enforcement, good morning to you. Law enforcement officers from all over the country are expected to pour here to Hartford on Saturday, really throughout the weekend, to really honor Detective Robert Garton. He is being laid to rest on Saturday. Now, the service is open for anybody who would like to attend. This is not just open to law enforcement. Anyone from the public can attend the ceremony. Now, Garton was riding in a cruiser last Wednesday night when a man crashed into the car. His partner, Officer Brian Kearney, was behind the wheel. He is recovering from serious injuries today. Now, police say the man who hit them, Richard Barrington, blew through a red light while running from a traffic stop. That's how that crash happened. The wake for Garton will be held on Friday from 2 to 7 at Duncan Park. Anyone who would like to say goodbye is welcome to do so. A celebration of life service will then be held on Saturday at 10 o'clock at the XL Center. This is open to the public as well. The burial service with police honors will take place immediately after. That service, however, is not open to the public. It will be closed. Garton will be laid to rest with the title of detective. The Hartford police chief says Garton recently went through the steps of becoming a detective and had been selected for the promotion. Garton had not yet been told that he was selected, but the title has now been awarded to him. One of the officers who trained him back in 2015 says she's devastated to know that he is gone.
It's a huge loss to HPD. It's a huge loss to this community. Bobby was the easiest person to FTO. I feel lucky to have been able to have that experience with him.
And there have been a couple different charity funds set up in Garton's name. If you would like to go ahead and maybe donate to some, maybe pay your respects that way, we do have the links for those different organizations set up on our website, fox61.com. You can go check those out there. Live in Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Brooke, thank you for that update. At least that is one small bit of good news there, that posthumous promotion.
And of course, we will have continuing coverage as we remember the service and sacrifice of Detective Garton. Stay with Connecticut's news station here on air as well as online at fox61.com and also on Fox 61 Plus. We're streaming on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV as well. Well, this morning, a child was in the hospital after getting pulled out of the Connecticut River in Cromwell. Fire officials from Portland tell us that their firefighters rescued the child while assisting the Cromwell Fire Department on a call. The child was taken to Middlesex Hospital. There is no word on their condition right now. Now, at that same time, part of Route 9 was closed for several hours in that area. We're told that there was a crash at about 5:30 last night, and it's not known if the two incidents are related.
Well, today, a mother whose 2-year-old son died after falling out of a third-story window is expected in court for a plea hearing. Tabitha Frank is charged with manslaughter and risk of injury to a child. Police said back in July, her son, Cornelius Williams, died after falling out of a window from the family's apartment.
Well, this morning, buses will once again be rolling in Coventry. The school district says drivers reached a 4-year agreement with M&J Bus Company. And this is great news for parents because drivers had been on strike for just over a week. They had to find alternative transportation for their kids.